at least we should finish or we should compile most of the exchange rate risk management assignment, at least the sample for that one, because yeah, this is what we have already from last week and from the lecture. So we were able to see that based on future market data from the Chicago Merchandise Exchange, based on expert polls, based on ECB forecast, based on historical trend lines, and VAR forecast, which is okay, quite dubious, but also based upon simulations, then we are able to see that what can be expected and what can be pessimistic and optimistic for us. Then also at the lecture we compile not just the exchange rate expectations and forecast, but also we defined call option fees, and obviously this one is the Gardner-Kohlhagen option fee, and the other is the Heston. And since this one is more expensive, then obviously we have to choose this one during the assessment of the opportunities here. Yeah. So, as last week we talked about it, then we have to go through the following steps when we have to define or the nature of our exposure. And that's why we have to rewrite the introduction. Then after that we have to say that, okay, what are the impacts, expectations about future exchange rates, and then after we can say that possible strategies, and in this case we have to check what happens if we are doing no hedge or if we are doing or following total hedge strategy. And then we have to erase all the remaining stuff except the conclusion, because conclusion is necessary. And then during the no hedge, total hedge strategies, we will see that, okay, is this relevant or not relevant, but now it's time to start the description. So first of all, we are just in the introduction, is much nicer if we are just defining all these crucial steps, and then we start to answer these questions. So during the assessment of the foreign exchange exposure, we should go through the following steps. First bullet point is that what currencies are. So which currencies are involved in the operations, and of course which foreign currencies. And in my case we have revenues in US dollar, and also we can see that this is not always, this is only just in the last 2 years. From Amazon. Due to the Amazon Kuiper satellite. There is one slight hiccup here, because if we were following the news this weekend, then we can see that Blue Origin, which is the rocket company of Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of or founder of Amazon, then at the second attempt, which is quite rare, they were able not just to launch their rocket, but also they were able to recover the first stage. So they were able to solve this really fast. And this means bad news for us and also the rest of the business, because, okay, except SpaceX, but they are the gigachat here. But for the rest of the industry, now we have two companies which can recover the first stages and cut costs and cut prices and cut under the whole market. So, yeah. So, I'm not sure that, okay, we get this contract, but we can see that sometimes contract can be changed. They can be reduced. And even they can say that, okay, since they are able to cut down costs, then they can remove all this order from our books. Because now there is a cheaper company, cheaper vendor which can satisfy this demand. And after that, there is no court which would say or which would support the agenda of the previous case when a shareholder sued Amazon that there was no real competition, so SpaceX was excluded and only Blue Origin tried to eat all the cake. I mean, they got all the contract, and after that Amazon was forced to split the orders to launch the satellite constellation to orbit. Now this can be changing, but okay, let's be optimistic. So still we have the contract in 2027 and 28, and we get our nice US dollar revenues. And since all or other equipments or components made in-house, we have no expenditures. We could say that fuel could be purchased for US dollar, but in this case I'm using what? Methane. So this is natural gas, a refined version of natural gas, but yeah, so it doesn't even have to be denominated in US dollars, so we can see that only the revenues are denominated in US dollars. Then we have net position. Okay, this net position is okay, this one at 9 times. Four. Both in 2027 and 2024. Okay, this was the net position. Then, is this exposure relevant or not? This is what we are not sure yet. That's why we have to do all the assessment. So to understand the relevance of this position, we will compare its impact on our expected corporate value and probability of default under no hedge and total hedge strategy. If we can see that it doesn't have an impact, then obviously we should not hedge. If we can see that, yeah, it's way better under total hedge, then we will follow that one. So relevance solved. Then okay, the next step is about foreign exchange regime, floating and relevant. Obviously we have floating exchange rate regime, so we have no fixed and stabilized regime, so we are forced to use some kind of a derivative. So the exchange rate is floating, not fixed. Therefore, we can use options only to remove an unwanted exposure. So if the government is not fixing us the exchange rate, then we can fix the exchange rate for ourselves by buying options for money. So we can make this exposure explicit at the end of the day. Then also we have to see, we should explore the expected exchange rates and the option fees as well. I think that's okay. This is so this is the list of necessary steps, and then we can see that what happens. So expectation about future exchange rates. Then we were able to compile database about market expectations so from futures market, CMA futures markets, and Reuters polls, and ECB forecasts, and macro financial war forecast. Based on the macro financial model, and in this case we know that okay, that was, we can say sketchy, just yeah, it is what is it is. So Meanwhile, we estimated EGR gauge model with skew T distribution to find the craziest outcomes. So to have Monte Carlo simulation to explore worst case and best case scenarios. This Monte Carlo simulation can be really useful, but once with the Hungarian forint we had this case that there was this sudden depreciation even before COVID. So around it was in the COVID year. I know that in the spring semester at the beginning, at another class, we explored that what can happen, and at that time the exchange rate was around 300 Hungarian forints to euro. So the craziest scenario was around 360. And I was at my usual weekly physiotherapy class, and then the physiotherapist asked me that, okay, right now the forint is heading towards 400. So what is my opinion about this? And I had to say that, okay, last time when we did this, we were able to say that it's highly unlikely to go under 360, and now we are 680, so now we are in the outside the realm of possibilities. So even GGR guard simulations can say sometimes that, okay, Monte Carlo has its limits. So if politician stupidity and creativity meets with each other, then obviously they can explore even crazier states, but still we can see that, yeah, these are the possibilities. So let's copy this one. Table 1. Obviously source. Different databases. So all what you can see here. For the ECB, I even put here the link as a footnote. That, okay, this is what we have here. And also for the GAR simulations, so the GGR the worst 500 and the best 500 extreme scenarios and unexpected. What is this curve? Not curve, but trajectory, yeah. Since they somewhat fit to the so that at least the expected value is around, well, yeah, close to what the market expects. So we can say that, okay, let's pick the large simulations, let's transpose them, and in this case we can say that, okay, let's use the expected rate. Can we do it? Because this is 15, 16. Okay, this is the historical trend line, we don't trust that one, but it's even the ECB said this should be 16. No, this is not good. Usually expected rate can be useful. Right now it's utterly useless. At least for extremes we can use this. Not for. So since unfortunately trajectory was far from all the other expectations, so we will rely on the, let's say that we are using ECB. That one seems to be more credible for me. Let's have we run on the ECB forecasts in the first 3 years. And then we will switch to the gauge thingy. Okay, so that was the gauge simulations. And then I'm writing here that this is the table for the assignment. So in this case, I'm switching from simulations to ECB's wisdom. At least this is still somewhere in between. But also, so in this case, this is quite difficult if we are looking at, because after that it expects that there will be a drop, but also all my exposure will happen in the 4th and 5th year. So for me, it doesn't matter what is happening with the expected things, only these two ones. So, okay, I was lucky, then keep it that way. Let's make a nice thing. How does it look like? Come on, it should be numbers with 2 digits, all of them. So, table 2. US dollar, exchange rate during the assessment. So now you can also calculate with that one in your assignments, or you can explore other exchange rates as well. Just in this case you have to highlight it why it's was better to use. So source ECB and authors Monte Carlo simulations. Yep. Now we should see what happens if what happens under the different scenarios. So let's see the happening. First of all, what we need here is this euro strong extreme. Well, practically these three. And then we have to see what happens with value. And also what happens with the probability of default. But that one is a trajectory, so we have to move this one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th year. Nothing more, nothing less. And if I did everything well, yeah, and also we have to create 2 of them because there is no hedge. And there will be also, with all this stuff, let's use gray color, and there will be a total hedge. Total hedge, obviously here we have to use options. This is in the middle, this is in the middle, so we have to manufacture this. Okay, so if I did everything completely well and nicely, then we just have to go for the profit and loss statement. And here we can see this exchange rate. So right now everything is set to 1, because at the beginning I did not want it to overcomplicate the assignment. So now we just have to change it. First of all, save everything. Then we have to just check that if I'm saying that, okay, this one equals foreign exchange rates, the strong case. Here in the first 3 years, because I have no exposure, nothing should change. But after that it should change, because the profit will move in one direction. So this one is increasing. Just we have to check that, okay, if we are doing this, then what happens with the revenue? Because that one, this one is when the euro appreciates. So at the end of the day, the profit should decrease. Are you decreasing? Yes, this is decreasing. So you can see that that one, the original, then after the appreciation of the euro, then it was decreasing. So this is good calibration. Then now we just have to see that, oh, what was the value of equity in euro, and then what is the share value. Then let's just go for the value of equity or share price. We are interested in share prices at the end of the day. Or we can collect both, because value is quite a broad phenomenon. Yep. Value of equity. So let's bring up and value of share. And what is the value of share? Then this will be the value of share. Then let's see probability of default. U. After that we just have to change mechanically everything. Then the next one is when we are switching to the expected. So again, US dollar euro rate, just in the case of the yellow, instead of going here, we are going here. So now, since euro is less strong against the US dollar, then we can see that now our profit is increasing because of this juicy Amazon contract. And that's why valuation should be also positively affected. Yes, share price increases slightly, and also equity value increases. Let's see, distress. Are we more distressed? Nothing. Okay, yes, from 9 now it decreases to 6. So practically this has zero impact whatsoever. Okay, then let's see weak scenario. So euro is not strong anymore, it's weak. Then, obviously, so from this, even the profit increased further, so now we are not profitable because, more profitable because we did anything with the company, just because we are lucky with the exchange rate. So this is the equity value, this is the share value. So this is when shareholders are happy just because of exchange rate movements and not because there was any wise management decision related to the company. So okay. So we can see that, yeah, there is not much difference between 9% probability of going default or 2% or 3% to 11%. So they are still in the same range. Doesn't matter much. Also, exchange rate is, I mean the price of the share is this much. So this one minus U divided by this one. Yeah, so it's 10% difference. Yeah, doesn't matter equity or share value. So so in this case, I wouldn't say that, oh, we have such an exposure. In this case, I would just say that, okay, no hedge maybe will be completely nice. But still, since we are at a class and also we are really precise people, especially you, then we should see what happens under using total hedge. So what happens if we are using options? So let's go back to the profit and loss statement and let's start again with the strong case. And then also we have to say that now we are hedging. So here you can see this hedge exposures, hedge expenditures. Let's use orange on it, and then let's see that we have to add option fees here. So first of all, option fees from here. But as we were able to see, we have to make only options for this time period because the first 3 years we don't have any kind of an exposure. Then the next thing that we have to sell US dollars to buy euros, and so at the end of the day we have to buy euros because of the denomination. So we have to buy call option because we would like to buy euro. So that's why this is the option fee for us. So hedge expenditures. Then we have to take this number, this is the option fee, multiplied by 9 times this unit fee, and what? Nine times. Okay, you can still process it. Then this one. Okay, now it was able to realize. I don't know what happened with it, but now it can proceed. G1. Okay. They tried to use yesterday BBB and then it was currently collapsing, so they were calling me, even if we are not in the same institute anymore, they were calling me on the phone that they need something, so I started to provide them with my own private Google account that I have infinite Google Meet, and now somehow a whole online conference is running from my Google Meet account, which is strange. At least they are not meeting in my home. So yeah. So hedge expenditures. These are the hedge expenditures. This is what we have to pay. Let's check that is this recognized as an expenditure. Yes, this is recognized as expenditure, so it's good. And then also we have to say that yes, but we were fixing the whole reason that we are doing this, that we would like to fix the exchange rate at this level. So now, if we are doing this, then maybe I will create a save as. Total hedge. Because this is going far from the previous solution, because now I have to fix the exchange rate at this level, and then I'm still fixing it at this level. And now we can see it doesn't matter what happens if the US dollar or the euro strong, if the euro weak, we have this exchange rate for the next 5 years ahead, or at least at the 4th year and the 5th year, and then we will be using this happily at this cost. So obviously this is not 3. It affects our balance sheet and our profitability. But let's see what was the actual impact. So why did I make euro strong weak and other expectations when we have total hedge strategy, which eliminates all this stuff? So yep. We have this fixed rate, and that's all. So impact on equity. Impact on share value. Then impact on distress. No. So impact on distress. Can we say this is more stressed? Absolutely not. So does this solve anything? Nothing at all. Mostly what we are able to do that we can eliminate this 10% fluctuation within the share price after spending so much money. So usually this is the reason why companies are saying that, oh, we don't want to do any hedging because we are just burning 110, more than 110 million euros away in the fourth and fifth year, just because we would like to avoid rapid appreciation of the euro, which is highly impossible. So what I did not check yesterday, that did we had any kind of an exchange rate in the past which was around this threshold. So 1.2, did we had any time of 1.2? Huh? Oh. When we had... Oh yes, the beautiful times of the subprime crisis. After that we even had a 1.57. In this case this is not so far-fetched. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the... Okay, so let's pick this thing up, move it here, are they doing anything? Nothing. Whatever. So possible foreign exchange hedge strategies. You just have to pick this thing up. So after some manual labor, then we can see that what are the possible impacts. And somehow I should put everything on the same. Okay, it's visible. Plus 3. Response of value and distress on FX rate shocks. Source simulations. Based on the different scenarios and or exposure, we collected the possible impacts on impacts of USD fluctuations on the share value and probability of default. Yeah. And of course, since we have the table referred in, or I mean located in the text, then we have to refer it also within the text. So this is table 3. We are doing it nicely. Table 2. And also table 1. So we're nicely saying that, okay, all these tables are references and so on. So under a no-hash strategy, value would change by 10% only due to our depreciation swings, and while corporate or financial distress was not affected. So come on, it fluctuates between 2 and 9 or 3 and 11%, so it doesn't say, so it would be dramatic effect if it would just increase by 20%, 30%, 40%. Here we can see nothing at all. So the financial distress is not affected at all. Total hedge over or revenues USD, revenues with at a fixed 1.04 it would cost us. Oh, I made a mistake. I said that this is where we have to pay the option, but no, we have to pay it today to have the option, not in the 4th and 5th year. So you, my friend, will come here. And also this one should be moved as well, because I have to pay for the option today to have this defense later on. Yeah. So all my numbers will be different. I even told about it yesterday, just I made even things worse, because we already really close to zero profit. Now the zero profit is far away from us, and so I've even made it worse to save nothing at all. So here probability of default increased by a lot, and here it didn't decrease by anything. So what did we achieve? Nada, nothing at all. So let's update the numbers here. Yep. It would cost us the first year where we are barely profitable. Barley. Just okay. Barely profitable. This choice had a terrible impact on our financial distress, and also we can see that share price is really close to the worst case scenario. So practically we are ruining the company if we are doing this. And our share price, so we should abandon the idea of following a total hedge strategy. So obviously this is quite a extreme case what I had done here, because all my expenditures are happening in the first year, while all the benefits would appear in the last 2 years. So this is the worst case scenario how we can deal with foreign exchange exposure. So if they would also appear in the first year and we would see the benefits in the first year, this would be much more balanced. But this is how does it look like. So yeah, I have this number, so I have to live with them. Yeah. So as a conclusion, the new strategy improved the value of the company. Yay! We identified the risk in the first 2 years, therefore it's necessary to create an additional capital buffer to raise at least 900 million euros as a financial runway. Yay! We did this. After careful assessment, we realized that under following conditions, only the equity funding can provide combination for low VACC, probability default, and high value growth. So we should raise at least 900 million financial runway by new equity. Equity funding. After careful assessment, we realized that our USD exposure should not be covered options because it would cause dramatic deterioration in corporate value and financial distress. Therefore, follow no hedge strategy. Yeah, so if we would do this, then practically we would just conserve the worst possible scenario for us, because this and this are not even the same. That one is more terrible because of the number here. So we should not do this. So we just have better scenarios compared to the total hedge case, even under really strong exchange rate. So therefore, we will follow a no hedge strategy. That is good. Further on, questions to answer, sensitivity towards exchange rate movements. Okay, we did this one. So now we have only several things to answer. So first of all, still we should explore taxation issues, tax optimization, and short-term funding. We have to survive until we are starting to realizing revenues, obviously. Until now, we were saying that, okay, this is happening instantaneously within a business year, but still there can be a lead and lag relationship between, first we have to manufacture stuff to launch things into space, and then we can get the revenues once they were able to reach orbit and deploy our customers' stuff, and then we can get the money. Until then, we are just creating expenditures. So this is what we have to model next week. And after that, we will still play with the tax optimization. So how multinational companies are optimizing their taxes. So yeah. I cannot say tax avoidance or money laundering, just we know that this procedures must be tested. And also I'm checking that, yes, was this calibrated? No, this is not calibrated right. Yeah, I saved it before doing anything, so just preparing it for whatever you. And